Stay tuned. This is my rhyme and reason.
Except in the Moors of Light.
That's a fact.
Right? That's a shirt. What they call is like a Azteca in the back. Some of the people in Cuba, they call that an Azteca.
Moors of Light in the front. I love the sleeves. I appreciate you more. You already know it's long.
You see, like we got our own flag there. You see?
Ooh.
The insignia.
Ooh. It reminds me of the Tiano colors. The big star. Plus the red. This is fire. I appreciate you more.
Absolutely.
You already know what it is. You already know what it is. It's your boy Demegod. This is 6th day, song number 6, Rhyme and Reason. We're gonna break down 100 Moors and go into different aspects of the whole Moorish movement, because this song is when I proclaim my nationality. A lot of people need to understand when they listen to my music, a lot of my music that I've been releasing within the past 5 years is music when I was in the nigger kingdom. This is before I claimed my nationality, although I was involved with the Israelites and the gods, and I had some consciousness. I was still treading a thin line between consciousness and nigger kingdom. I still was in the nigger kingdom, though. I had 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So a lot of the music that's being pushed out right now, since I've been holding a lot of music, just life and different things been going on in the industry, that has prevented me to really feel confident and comfortable enough to release my music. You know what I'm saying? So 100 Moors is a testament to my newfound education and teachings and guides through nationality and the Aboriginal peoples of America, me being of Cuban American descent as well. It's important for me to understand and know that. And the brother actually just blew my mind. He bought a book from Cuba, and it's called Cuba, A History, right? And Oscar Loyola Vega and Sergio Guerrero Villaboy. This book is a must-have for the Moors. I'm telling you, Moors, this is a small gem. This gem got, he showed me the first page. I ain't even getting to the book yet, but as we all know, the Moors go by the Bay, right? The B-E-Y, the Bay. Now, this is important. I'm gonna have him pronounce it because I don't really, you know what I'm saying? I can't really, but I'm gonna get it though, because I can't wait to learn about my own people. But it says the indigenous peoples of Cuba, the Guatahata Bays. And it says the Bays, B-E-Y-S at the end. Guanahata Bays, right? Taino were generally hunter-gatherers, fishermen, or early farmers. These groups of Indians never attained the cultural complexity and development of other societies in South and Central America, but some developed rudimentary agriculture and pottery. They grew tobacco, corn, yucca, and lived in small hamlets, either inland or on the banks of rivers. Come on. Guana, let's go back to that though. That right there is just lets you know that was a Moors right there. Those are indigenous peoples of America right there. But Guanahata Bays, B-E-Y-S. So that's crazy, man. You know what I mean? I just wanted to bring that out. That was crazy. This brother's a prolific brother. He has taught me a lot, revealed a lot to me. And it's a pleasure to be on his show and as well be able to do my show in collaboration. And he's the best person to interview me about the song 100 Moors, about the theme, the concept, who's it directed to, why'd I do it, and all of those things there. So yeah, bro.
Absolutely, bro. I really appreciate that. One of the best questions I like to ask all my artists is, what's your perspective on the malientismo?
The Malian piece?
Malientismo. Malientismo is like for example, let's say I have, like, you see a bunch of cats with ski masks, and they all holding like trumpets, like in a Malientista way, like trouble. What's your perspective on the Malientismo when it comes to where all the Moors are specifically looked at as like delinquents and stuff like that? Are you kind of taking the perspective of like, yo, like y'all act over, you're not defending shit because when the ops come, you running? Or are you kind of just like, nah, fuck them, you know, that's the life they chose? Like,
Definitely not.
go ahead.
Well, for me to be who I am and who I've developed myself, the experience that has developed who I am comes from where they come from. So for me to throw them away and say, yo, they made their own choices, that would be kind of like asinine for me and kind of like ignorant on my part, especially when I know the bigger picture and I know it's direct programming because I've been programmed. I was doing the same things they was doing, and I just have had the benefit of meeting the right teachers and the right guides to bring me into the education to elevate me to a point where I see over a higher perspective. To see things from a higher perspective is to be able to see the whole broad spectrum of what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? Not just, oh, these young brothers is bad. These, young melanated males are trouble. They born that way. That's what they want us to believe, and that's what they want people to believe. But young melanated babies aren't born gangbanging. You know what I'm saying? They're not born. That's something. This is learned behavior. This is a programmed behavior. If you take 10 melanated boys out of America and put them into a society that is opposite of what this American society pushes and designs them to be, they would be totally different people. Let's just, we want to always stay on a reality aspect. So that's the same thing with me. And that's why I made the song, because I want to stay on a reality aspect. And I'm a strong believer in goons regulate goons. I'm a strong believer that the older goons that's still around, they ain't dead or in jail. The real ones though, not the ones that them ratted. I'm not talking about the ones that's really soft or done did so much foul stuff in the community or bullied and extorted the community to the point where they there's a disdain for their existence. But the brothers that have turned their life around and really are pillars in their community and moving and shaking, we don't hear about these brothers because the media doesn't, doesn't give them the spotlight, and the media doesn't promote those brothers, but they exist because I'm sitting right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm a testament. So I think that my movement and everything that I'm doing is that's what that's about. That's about reaching back and saying, yo, nah, those my little soldiers right there. You know what I'm saying? For me,
You know what I found to be very impressive, and I like personally when I see MCs, I like when they do their sets with an actual DJ that's scratching and shit, and then they don't have no background vocals. So when I first saw you do a song live, and you didn't, whether you had the vocals on or no vocals, the energy you came with, what you're saying right now in terms of the question of the Malientismo, like seeing young cats that's like with the Super Saiyan mode. I remember there was a time in one of your posts you were doing 100 Moors, and one of the young brothers in the crowd, he just got up and he walked out. But he walked out like, oh, I already know what time it is now. Because you flipped a switch and you could see it in people without even having to say nothing. The language of silence, as we say. We always have a window with the language of silence. So I really want to commend you on. I really want to commend you on you being able to actually, like, show people what type of time it is, but use it for, you know, turning them into gods, as you say.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
What another line that you say in the song? You say all double R's.
Oh, Rough Riders. That means like, cause at the time when I created 100 Moors, X had just passed, and DMX, we had basically escorted his body from Yonkers casino in Yonkers with a police escort from the mayor and all that. Shout out to Wadeen and all that, Rough Riders. And he had all the bikes out. So we had a full escort. We had about 10,000 bikes. You know what I'm saying? News coverage from the sky. It was crazy, you know what I mean? So that right there was something, that energy I put into 100 More. So when I said on double R's, that means that means if I call a cavalry, like thousands of double R's. Just imagine that. You know what I'm saying?
Feel it. You feel it without even knowing what it is.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So you know what I'm saying? That right there. But 100 Moors is definitely a warrior. It's a warrior drum. You get that energy. It's like, you know what I'm saying? And it's saying all the things that they want and love to hear. But if you read in between the lines of the vibration, it's really saying something totally profound. You know what I'm saying? 100 Moors is something that I don't even expect a lot of people to jump on 100 Moors right now, because I know how profound music is. It comes later on, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, one of the things that's impressive, I'm big on lyrics, bro, because a lot of the newer generation is not hip hop. When you say all double R's, I'm already thinking in my mind the R, and then I'm also thinking about like what's R's, because we're saying Moors, but everywhere you go in the world there's Moors.
That's a fact.
So it's like opening up with Cuba. When I go to Cuba now, I don't have the mentality of like I'm here on vacation. I don't have the mentality where it's like I'm stuck. It's like, nah, like when you know that you're a Moor and everything is double hours, you walk around like everything's your castle. Like you own everything already. Like I'm already rich as fuck.
That's a fact.
You see what I'm saying? So that was another
that's
train of thought when I heard all double R's. I was like, oh, this is it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, you already know, like that double R is a worldwide trademark, and I appreciate why allowing me to work for Rough Riders Rescue and do the community work that I've done with them. That was an experience that I could always reflect back on and use for the future in different situations, as well as in what I've done, put it in my resume, you know what I'm saying, professionally, you know what I mean? So I really appreciate the opportunity. Shout out to the Locks, DMX, Eve, a whole Rough Rider family, you know what I mean?
Yo, how important was it for you to go to DR, Quisqueya, IT? Like how important was it for you to go there? And did you play 100 Moors when you were over there at all? Like did anybody get a chance to hear that or?
Exactly. My driver, of course, we had a driver, and I played it, and automatically we had a reaction. Like the reaction was just like, whoa, who's that?
That's me, bro.
And I was like, that's me but you know what's crazy? the reaction was more like a starstruck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because then my nephew was like, yeah, my uncle, he got songs with Kanye West and all real songs too. No made up AI, none of that. And he was like, Roar, he be doing community work and all that. So he been beefed me up so much. So when he finally met me, and then we threw the music on, he was just like, oh, 5-star treatment. As 5-star, you could get it in DR. You know what I'm saying? He was one of those drivers that was connected, know a lot of people, you know what I mean? So we got a lot of things done real quickly. I appreciated being in DR. I haven't went to Cuba yet.
How important would it be to go to Cuba, bro, for you, being that,
man.
you know, we got the line out there?
Oh, man. That would be so... My great-great-great-grandmother came here from Cuba. So, you know, migrated here from Cuba. So, you know, there's a lot of roots from that's being hidden and shrouded all through South America, up through North America, about the Moors. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to bring back to 100 Moors. I wanted to bring the Moorish culture into the drill culture. You know what I'm saying? That's what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? Because regardless, it ain't no throwing nobody away. Those the little soldiers right there. Those our Marines. Those our Navy. Those our Army. You feel me? The young boys that have a talent for killing. You know what I'm saying? A talent for military and security. We a nation. You seeing a reflection of that. Just the same way you seeing a reflection of our past firefighters. You don't think we had firefighters in a society when we had a society here? We didn't have our own doctors. You know what I'm saying? It's just that those kids are being snuffed out. You know what I'm mean? Those kids are being snuffed out and regulated into a system. You know what I'm saying? They're not able to operate under their own Moorish national name. So that's what 100 Moors. 100 Moors is that. It's a warrior drum call to the drill community. Like, yo, it is what it is. I'm coming as a G. You know what I'm saying? A well-respected person in my community to all communities of all nations, and bringing that call of unity and starting to really understand, like, you a nation of Moors. You know what I mean?
If you could give yourself any advice when you were like maybe 10 years old that you have right now, like the estate that you have right now, the mindset and the experience, what would you say to a young cat right now?
Go to the Moorish Science Temple right now. Go to the Moorish Science Temple right now. Go get nationalized. Once you get nationalized, it's a whole different playing field. And when I say everybody chasing the bag, right? Even though Moorish science is not about what people try to make it about, their whole drive is about, you know, tricking the system or trying to use it to do illegal acts. Like, that's not what this is about. And you will be chastised by Moors if we catch you. Yes, you will be chastised by Moors if we catch you, but the government has something for you too as well. So don't try to come into a free national name and bring criminality, because that's not what this is. This is love, truth, peace, you know what I'm saying, justice and freedom, you know what I mean? So that's what this is. So we want brothers to understand that if I had to tell myself, I would definitely tell myself to go to the Moorish Science Temple, get nationalized, learn everything you need to know about corporate law, tax law, you know what I'm saying, maritime law, you know what I'm saying, a whole list of things that the Moors deal with, allodial titles, trusts, you know what I mean, UCC codes. Moorish science opens you up not only to your Moorish and African lineage and connections, but it also opens you up to know how to navigate your vehicle on U.S. soil, business wise. You know what I'm saying? Money
Yeah, I know
wise,
you're into precious metals,
precious
right?
metals.
So one of the things that I like to bring to people's attention, especially as Moors, is like, a lot of us is talking about tapping in. Like you already have it within because of the fact that we have a Moorish bloodline. The same exact elements in the periodic table, they're running across all the computer boards that are attached to the land, essentially as colonial territorial jurisdictions. When we look at our phones, our cell phones, the same stuff that's in your blood and your DNA is in the cell phone.
Wow.
So essentially, the chains that we're rocking, all the precious metals, the seashells, the oil, all the technology, it's already in the cell phone. So essentially, if you know the Constitution, it's your constitutional right to even have a cell phone. If you have a cell phone in a first world country, you technically are in the top 30% of the world's wealth already. So that's another thing that I want a lot of Moors to understand is that in Cuba, you don't have access to the stock market. You don't have access to cryptocurrency because so many of us over here have been tricking on each other with this straw man shit, saying that the straw man isn't beneficial. But Noble Drew Ali actually wrote that citizens have access to the wealth of a nation as nationals. So there are certain people within our Moorish estates continentally, whether you side as a Merindian continentally or whether you are claiming Moorish, which is the missing paradigm that we need in terms of finance and understanding that everything is ours already instead of saying, oh, we broke.
We're not broke.
Being able to tap into essentially electronic forms of financial technology, be a fintech. You could invest in stocks, you could invest in crypto, and you don't gotta be on the wrong type of time. Like nowadays, flying all the way over to places like Germany, there's signs that say if you cross this pole, you're leaving the American jurisdiction. You go all throughout Tikal, Guatemala, you go to Cuba, Mexico. Bro, in Colombia, they got Morro Pyramid and they got Morro castles everywhere. So it's like, bro, everything's already ours. It's just, we got to be able to, like you're saying, when you navigate, you got to be able to essentially handle extreme amounts of responsibility to use your mind as a Moor on that cell phone. And bro, I've seen people investing. I'm gonna drop a couple good stocks. Stocks because your Social Security, as I will ask you as an intelligent brother, that's a stock. Birth certificate is a stock.
Before you go there, though,
Go ahead.
I want to reflect on the cell phone real quick.
Right.
The cell phone now is a weapon.
Hands down.
It's a weapon in a way that unless you have futuristic technology, contact lenses or glasses that can repel the blue light technology that they're using with all televisions and cell phones. You know what I'm saying?
Absolute.
So, it's like it's a hypnotizing type of technology.
Absolute.
They got information in Project Blue Book and other FBI files that has been released that talks about the blue light. Every TV and every cell phone emits a neutral blue light. That blue light is connected to a technology, advanced technology that they got from advanced species
Facts.
from when Roswell happened, supposedly, allegedly, right? And the blue light technology, what it does is it hypnotizes you. And we all know it does. Because I pick up the phone and I'm saying I'm only gonna pick up this phone because I got stuff to do.
I'm only gonna pick up this phone to do what I need to do, post and get off the phone.
That's true.
And it never happens. I never get right off the phone. I'm always stuck, and I really have to really get myself out of it and put it down and shut it off. And there's a hypnotizing. So we have to know that majority of everything that we have to our disposal that they allow us to have, because remember, it's an allowance. You know what I'm saying? It's an allowance. These cars, this technology, it always has a weaponized aspect to it. So I urge all the Moors out there, the young Moors especially, because that's who we here for. You know what I'm saying? Especially the young sleepy Moors. You know what I mean? But the young Moors as well, to always realize that when you're watching TV and you watching your phone and you feel yourself being dragged into a loop of time where you're wasting time, that's the whole point. It's distraction and to waste time to keep you stuck to the screen. You understand? So knowing is half the battle. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding the true Trinity that's symbolic and allegorical to all the rest of the other Trinities, because there's many others. But knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is the true, like, you know what I'm saying? You could break that spell by using knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
One of the things that you say in 100 Moors is if the blood pours, you say somebody call Allah.
Oh, call the law.
Somebody call the LAW, right?
Yeah, somebody call the
land,
law.
air, water.
Land, air, water. Law.
Go ahead.
In Moorish science, abbreviated LAW, is land, air, water. That's the whole circumference of existence. So law, true law, natural law, which is connected to common law, is the true laws of all lands and all peoples. You understand? Land, air, and water. Somebody call the law. I got 100 Moors, because that's what they're gonna do anyway. You know what I'm saying? When people hate what they don't understand. You know what I'm saying? They hate what they can't understand, and that's just what it is. You know what I mean? It's just the theory of man, like Nas said. You heard? So I said that, and I also said if the blood pours. Now, when I'm talking about when the blood pours, I'm in the song. You hear me specifically talk about, you know, the racial separation that's swept under the rug, and people try to act like they don't really see it. It's still prevalent. You know what I mean? The violence that we is inflicted upon us as young melanated males from police officers that's taught white supremacy, and it's like a disease that's been it's like a cancer that's just been lingering over America, and nobody really is, because there's no real remedy. The remedy is too atrocious, if you want to be, in my opinion. We're not gonna get into that, but
when you bring up law, well, every time, because I teach language and I work with a lot of the folks that you're talking about that essentially embody that disease in the forms of commerce, because I'm a straight merchant. You know, my appellation and my father's actual paternal name is Marco and then Romero. So technically, if my father's a Roman and I'm looking at my quarters and I'm looking at Roman money and I'm watching Sean Taylor in a gladiator arena playing football, when you say somebody call the law, I'm already thinking about a law. I'm thinking about God. And then when I teach language, I usually say the word Allah all the time, like saying Allah in terms of more.
yeah.
And it really, every single time I hear this word Allah, I'm already thinking to myself, damn, I'm in commerce, teaching, saying the word Allah, and I'm also teaching law, right? Somebody call Allah when the law is enforced, the bays, the bailiffs, us as Moorish nobility, which is the aspect of so many of us in this hemisphere. We need to embrace being law. We need to embrace
because we are the law. That's
exactly.
another thing that
Go ahead.
the young brothers are so enthusiastic about breaking the law. They don't understand like this whole paradigm. When you go back to the original form of it, is created off of you. Like you are the law. That's why the Constitution is the way it is. They did not create the Constitution. The Constitution and the Declaration of Independence already existed before Europeans got here. We already had a nation here. This is a science that they couldn't have learnt from the prisons that they was released from when they first came here from Europe, because that's where they came from. Most of them were criminals from out of prisons. They couldn't read and write. So how did they come up with a system so elaborate that they say they have came up with? And we all know from our elders and our teachers and from evidence, archaeological evidence, that there was a nation here. There's cover-ups, buildings being covered up. There's parts of America that's being closed off and we can't see. And the gig is up. So 100 Moors is to bring that to gang culture, because ultimately gang culture is all the sleepy Moors that's running around and claiming sex for separation and actually really wiping each other out and doing their work. So we have to know and understand education is the remedy, you know what I mean, for the Moors. That's my own personal ideology though. You know what I mean? I have other remedies for other people other than Moors. And education can't even help certain people. So you already know, like, there's nothing you could do with them. You feel me? So no matter how much you teach them, everybody's on different levels, and everybody coming to their enlightenment at their own time. And it might not even be in this lifetime. It might be thousands of years.
Yeah, they got to go through a lot of reconciliation, bro. You know,
it's crazy. I made a post not too long ago.
Yeah.
And in the post, in the caption, I gave the science and then I said amen. So somebody commented on the post and was like, yo, why you say amen? You bugging. And laugh out loud.
Yeah.
And I said, no, they said I'm tripping. Laugh out loud. And I responded, nope, never tripping, never slipping.
Absolutely not.
Amen Ra. Amen comes from Amen Ra, one of my ancestors in Kemet. You feel me? The bloodline, one of the royal bloodlines of Kemet. So Amen Ra was somebody that they deified.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? But that's my ancestor. So they just basically saying his name and giving veneration to his name. But that's a melanated man from ancient times. So that was epic when I had when I'm able. That's why I respond to certain comments. I usually, you know what I'm saying, I don't entertain ignorance, and I got a short tolerance. People see that when you read my comments, you already see I'm not even playing with you. I'm going straight to the point. And I don't care how you feel about nothing. I'm not here for that. I'm not here for about what nobody feel. I'm here to bring the truth. That's what Yahshua said. Jesus, he said, I'm here to bring the truth. You know what I'm saying? If people really know the Bible, that means unadulterated, unfiltered, hurt. He don't care who he was separating from, mother from daughter, father from son. You know what I'm saying? There will be a separation once the truth is revealed, because everyone has a choice. You know what I'm saying? And people choose ignorance over light for some reason, because it's easier.
Yeah, you know what's crazy about that? I get comments about that all the time because I have a particular look to me. And one of the things I noticed, especially after going to Cuba, Malik El-Shabazz, Malcolm X, said on Harlem, when I was living in Harlem, there's a wall that's painted that says, "We'll never get free until we identify ourselves with the people of the third, with the folks of the third world." So essentially, when I went to the third world, which is actually the first world, all the places in the world that are third world are actually Moorish states.
That they crashed on purpose. When they collapsed our empire, they basically the strongholds.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
because
you gotta remember these places specifically
them
are not
folks-
being targeted for no reason.
them folks that have the time to make a comment like that, oh, the Moors so great, how come they fell, type shit. Them people is literally in our pockets because they have so much time and luxury to talk shit online from a standpoint of them being privileged enough to even afford that phone. They don't know what it's like to be in a Moorish estate because they've never gone to a Moorish estate with
Cuba,
a Moorish estate. They've never been to
Haiti,
Cuba. They haven't been to IT, which is
DR,
essentially the same
hood.
thing.
Facts.
It's the same thing. You go anywhere, any of these.
They don't
Moorish
appreciate.
estates.
They online talking
That's
about
what
the
I'm saying.
Moors
The same
when the
amount of
Moors is the
energy-
reason why you got everything you got.
The same amount of energy they put into talking shit, they could have invested with the same amount of clicks on the phone